Good morning, beloveds. I'm currently without a cat. Sugar let me carry her in here, and then as soon as I sat down and set her down on the couch next to me, she shot out of here. I was like, all right. So apparently we are still all avoiding the guest room where, Hayes was. Oh, well, all right. It's Monday. It is August 22nd. Our title is Judge Not. And the first quote is, God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. And that is 2 Timothy 1:7. And then the quote from the Science of Mind is, we must learn to think in the absolute. This means to think independently of any given or experienced effect. And that is Science of Mind, page 406. All right, Jesus's admonishment to withhold judgment is respected by most students of truth, for it tells us to love people as they are, since we cannot really know what causes people to act the way that they do. This seems both sensible and compassionate. Nevertheless, we may be called upon to make decisions concerning others that will seem unfavorable. In fact, we may find it necessary to say or do things that cause discomfort or frustration to others. Should we be considered unloving or judgmental for not going along with someone else's desires? We need to make healthy judgments which support our choices in life, but at the same time, we need to refrain from making judgments which censure others or denigrate them as spiritual beings. To love others as divine beings does not mean to imitate them. To choose to walk a path others may not take need not mean a lack of love for them. Our God selves will always be loving, even as we decline to engage in actions we deem inappropriate for ourselves. Infinite mind inspires me. Infinite power expresses through me. Infinite love heals me and presents me as a true spiritual being. I make choices from love and wisdom, not censure. I do what is right for me while accepting others' choices for themselves without negative opinion. I know that God reigns in us all, that infinity is our homeland. I am thankful to be free. And that is MS. That is Margaret Stortz. And there's a lot to unpack in this one. Okay. Starting with, in that first sentence, Jesus's admonishment to withhold judgment being respected by students of truth tells us to love people as they are, since we cannot really know what causes people to act the way they do. And it was probably several weeks ago, but Reverend Jesse made that point. You can talk to somebody for hours and still only know 10% about their life. So when people make judgments that you don't agree, make decisions about their life that you don't agree with, and I've heard it said, you don't know what they had to choose from. And so that's one of the things that's super important. It's like, we don't have the right to make decisions for others because we don't know what choices that they are literally choosing from. We don't have the right to say, well, I would have chosen differently. You probably would have chosen differently, but you don't know the choices that they are having to choose from. You don't know the situations that they are on. So it does nothing for either one of us for me to say, well, you chose wrong, because I don't know the choices that you had to choose from. I don't know the situation that you were in. All I can do is say, these are the choices that I have to choose from, and then make my decision. I gain nothing by making you wrong. And in fact, when I make you wrong, I'm actually harming you. And even if you're choosing wrong, it's not my place to say. You are an independent, thinking being, and it is your choice to make. Whatever choice we're talking about. And I can dance around the bush, beat around the bush, and because there's one choice as a woman that, it's been in the newspaper lately. But again, it does nothing for the other person to make them wrong. You don't know what situations that they're in. You don't know what choices that they're having to choose from. So the only thing that we can do is say, you are a beloved child of God. You are at choice. And that's one of the things that I really that I like about Science of Mind, is Science of Mind always reminds us, no matter what is happening around us, we are at choice. Sometimes the only choice we have is how we feel about things. But that's the key in that situation. It's how we feel about it. So we make decisions, and I have parents. I don't have children, but I have parents. And I know that my parents have watched me make decisions, and gone, what? Why is she making that decision? That's not a good decision. And yet I have come through all of those, even when I've made a bad choice. So, that's judge not. Because we don't know what's going on in other people's lives, no matter how well we know them. No matter how well we think we know them. I guess I should say that. Because you literally can't live another person's life. So, there's that awkwardness there. And, okay. Here's where I turn into a pirate. Nevertheless, we may be called upon to make decisions concerning others that will seem unfavorable. In fact, we may find it necessary to say or do things that cause discomfort or frustration in others. It's one of those things that when we make a decision that relates to others, the first thing we want to do is, let me be very ministerial and say, the first thing we want to do is pray. Let's go to God and ask for that divine wisdom. The other thing we want to do is make sure that the decision that we are making harms no one. Not that it's not going to annoy people, not that it's going to not frustrate people, not that it's going to make people uncomfortable, but that it harms no one. And then we move into, who does this decision benefit? And when we make a decision, especially when we make a decision for ourselves, as long as it doesn't harm anyone, even if the only person that the decision benefits is us, that's okay. The goal is not to harm anybody. So, and that's how we check with ourselves. We go to that place where nothing has ever been wrong, and we say, give me the divine guidance, because this decision, no matter what decision I make, somebody's not going to be happy. And we just have to make the decision. But that's where we do our spiritual work first. Should we be considered unloving or judgmental for not going along with someone else's desires? No. And I made the comment about parents, because sometimes parents have an idea of what you should do, and it's not in your heart. And they're going to be upset, and they're going to be uncomfortable when you don't go along with what they want. But you've got to do what's best for you. In the long run, when decisions have to be made, as long as nobody's being harmed, you still have to do what's best for you. All right? Whatever the situation is. And if other people judge you for that, it's none of your business. It's none of your business. And you can look at them and say, what you think about my decision is none of my business, because it doesn't affect you. Or if it does affect you, I have to take care of myself first. As long as I'm not harming you, you don't have a heck of a lot to say about the decisions that I make. And that's what you are allowed to tell people. As long as I'm not hurting you or hurting anybody else. Okay, so we need to make healthy judgments that support our choices in life. But at the same time, we need to refrain from making judgments that censure others or denigrate them as spiritual beings. When somebody that we love is headed down a path that makes us uncomfortable, then we have to check ourselves first. Okay? Does it make me uncomfortable because... I'll give you an example. When a friend of mine came to me and said, I have this opportunity at this promotion, but this promotion is going to move me halfway across the country. yes, you're leaving me, and that's going to be uncomfortable, and it's going to, but it's best for you. And so, yes, I want you to know that I don't want you to leave, but I want you to do what's best for you. Okay? So when we are going to make choices like that, we are going to move halfway across the country, and the people we leave behind are going to be upset and possibly hurt, but we are not damaging them. Okay? But we've got to do what's best for us. We've got to do what's best for us, in the long run, and the people that we're going to benefit by making the choices that we do. See? You can't please everybody, but when you can't please somebody, or when somebody doesn't please you, then the goal is not to hurt them with your words when you are judging the choices that you really have no business judging them for. You know? Okay. All right. So we don't want to denigrate them or censure them as spiritual beings. To love others as divine beings does not mean to imitate them. We've got to walk our own path. To choose to walk a path others may not take need not mean a lack of love for them. Just because they think we should do this and we know in our heart that that's not right for us, it doesn't mean we don't love them. But it does mean we love ourselves, and that is okay. And we just have to make it clear to them. It's like, it's not that I don't love you, but that's just not right for me. And do what's best for us. Our God selves will always be loving, even when we decline. Will always be loving, even when we decline to engage in actions we deem inappropriate to ourselves. It's like, hey, that makes you happy, go for it. It's not my cup of tea. So, and then she's got that beautiful treatment. Infinite mind inspires me. Infinite power expresses through me. Infinite love heals me and presents me as a true being. I make choices from love and wisdom, not censure. And so, really honestly, like I said, there's a lot to unpack on this one. And as you can see, Foster has turned up at the end of it. The mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to make choices from a loving place, to do what is best for ourselves, and to not judge others when we don't know what they had to choose from. You know, we could go to them and ask for an explanation, but then we don't get to judge them for what they tell us. When we do things like that, we prove we're not safe, and that's not okay. If you love them, you want to be a safe place. You want to, come from a place of understanding. So come from a place of love, come from a place of wisdom. Don't come from a place of censure. Like I said, you don't know what they had to choose from. That's the mission today. Woof. I know. That's why we try and use the word discernment instead of judgment, because of all of the baggage that judgment has. So that is the mission today. Oh, I know. I'm asking a lot, but like I said, you don't know what other people had to choose from any more than they know what you had to choose from. So always come from a place of love. And then the other one is the same one I give you every day. Do something loving for yourself. Do something kind for yourself. Do something compassionate for yourself. Whatever that looks like. Big, small, does not matter. Point is to do something loving and kind and compassionate for yourself. And sometimes it looks like loving on your fur babies or the people in your lives. It can be take a deep breath before you speak. Always a good idea, because you're more likely to choose a loving way to say it than when you just blurt it out. Take a walk, take a nap, take care of yourself, because that's what being loving, kind, and compassionate for yourself is. It's about taking care of yourself. It is about and being kind to others. When you practice on yourself, which you should, because you deserve your own love, your own kindness, and your compassion, you're also creating a bank for when you meet people that need a little extra. Because like I said, we don't know what's going on in their lives. the least we can do. The least we can do is be kind. All right. So, I would also encourage you, as I always do, to go do something to engage your mind and your body. I was not expecting it to be 80 degrees at 7:30 this morning, and yet it was. So the bike was a good option, and there was a nice breeze. Make sure you drink plenty of water, because like I said, it was 80 degrees at 7:30 this morning. And get that bright light early in your day. I did get a little bit of sun, but we got some clouds coming. There's a storm system coming in from the north. So I don't know how much sun we're going to get this week. It could be an interesting week. You gonna lay down? Open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around you all the time, because it's an inside out job. Heaven comes from here. It's a state of mind, a state of consciousness, which means regular practice will help you create it wherever you are, no matter who's around. So that is what I know for today. So I am going to tell you, catch us on the social medias. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I am the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. There's all kinds of content, including Sunday is up on YouTube. So if you want to go check that out. I just lost track of what I was about to say. So, email info@creativelife.org to find out what's going on, because we have a couple of things going on this week. One, we have a soul session on Wednesday. That'll be on Facebook Live, and then I'll get it up on YouTube later. I don't have to edit the soul sessions. YouTube won't let us leave the music in most of the time, which is why I edit it for YouTube. They're very on the copyright thing. And as they should be. And then, so since the soul sessions are all conversation, I don't have to edit them. So they're pretty easy to get up. And then, there was something else. Oh yeah, we have a food market, the mobile food market, on Saturday from 11 to 3. So if you can't be there at 11, but you can get there later in the afternoon, that's great too. And then, yeah, so check out the constant contact email. The hot links are hot. That'll get you all the information you need. I'm being distracted by the cat. I need to stop that. So I'm going to tell you to have a great day, a wondrous day, an amazing day, a magical day, a fantastic day, an enchanted day, an enchanting day, an awesome day, a Monday. Yes, I know. I like Mondays. I do enjoy Mondays. And I used to like them because I went to the gym on Mondays, and then gym went to Wednesdays, and now gyms are on Sundays. But I still like Mondays. So, all right. It's the beginning of a fresh week. So, have an amazing Monday, a good day, or simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. You are a beloved child of God, in whom God is well pleased and well represented, whether you believe it or not, because it's a state of grace. All right, beloveds. I'm going to move into the process of my day and my week. Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. as usual. And know that you're loved. Always. So I will see you next time.